All right, what's going on here? Oh, okay. Sorry. Anyway, hi. This is our first hiccup of the night. Had the wrong input on
least it wasn't me.
StreamYard. So, anyway, let's get this right here. Anyway, hey, welcome to another edition of Modern Day Thrive. I am your host, your reoccurring host, I don't know. Well, I got nothing. It's been a long day. So I'm your host, Dean Baker, and two to my left is George Weber, as always. George, nice to have you back here.
Hello.
Yeah, and so if this is your first time joining us on Modern Day Thrive, I'm so sorry. No, if this is your first time joining us, this show is about. Well, it's about thrive. It's about thriving in your business, your life, your personal life, your professional life. It's about breaking free of that 9 to 5 punch a time clock, work for somebody else. It's about side hustle. It's about pivoting your business. It's about turning your side hustle into a business. We're here to kind of give you our experience. We're here to give you our experience on the pitfalls, the landmines, the how to sidestep some problems in starting a small business or starting a big business. However you want to do. Yeah. So anyway. All right. So I'm going to mispronounce your name. So with me is, go to the wide. You can cut to the wide. All right. You can go right there.
Hey.
With me is Ryan. Ryan
Satuno.
Asatuno.
It doesn't even
Ryan Asatuno.
not even how it's written. I know.
Okay. We'll get to that. Ryan, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Awesome. Pleasure to be here.
You were recommended by our good friend Alex Gallimore.
Mhm.
I can actually pronounce his name. Alex with New York Life. Hey, Alex, if you're out there in the world watching, it's good to have you out there and making connections with all of us. So Ryan, you were introduced to me as RyanAceMusic.com, which is a well, tell me a little bit about that business.
Yeah. Well, pretty much. It's a business where I'm trying to connect some dots in places where people are needing those dots,
Right.
and making them understand, there is a way to collaborate more in this world. There's a lot of, especially now with where the music industry is, with what people are trying to do in business. People know that there's a lot of pieces that come together to become successful in whatever area that is, either it be live performances, becoming like a producer, becoming a like a band musician, or
Okay.
different things. And so my goal is to kind of be able to say, hey, well, I can be that one-stop shop for you.
Okay.
So if you're looking for someone who is, who is like good in production and you need a production, there's somebody that I know that will, you could definitely use that. Or another thing is if you're looking for classes, you're trying to get better at your craft.
Right.
We offer that too. If there's a certain special amp that you've been looking for, but you're like, I just can't find the right deal, we
Mhm.
offer that too. There's just a lot of things that trying to make it where make that you from getting from where you're starting to where you're succeeding
Mm-hmm.
easier and quicker in one place.
Nice.
Sorry, I had to do a sound check.
I checked
So
it.
you checked it?
Yeah,
All right.
sorry.
So
Awesome.
I had to do a sound check. Make sure we're not
That's why I was over
going
here
we're not
struggling.
going silent again for the first 5-10 minutes.
Oh
So,
my gosh. Yeah,
so
yeah.
all right. So I'm looking at I gotta mute again.
Mhm,
Hang on.
No
This is-
problem.
This is live television, folks. That is
Yeah.
best. So
Mhm.
anyway, so I'm looking at the website here, Ryan Ace Music. Tell if I click on the about, is the about page got?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. So I see multifaceted business. What is how do you earn your living with this business?
Well, basically, it's the umbrella. This is the umbrella, Rhinus
Okay.
Music,
Okay.
and then everything else falls under that umbrella. So there is for example, like I said earlier, if let's say someone comes to me at Context and says, "Hey, I've been looking for a workshop or courses for performing or singing or songwriting,"
Right.
then there's an entire piece of that umbrella focused on that.
Okay.
And there's people working on it, running it, teaching it, that I say, here they are. Here's
Okay.
where you go to get what you're looking for. But if
Okay.
someone says, well, actually, I have someone who is actually wants to set up their career. They want to become an artist,
Okay.
and they're looking for other places. They're trying to really, get more coaching along their career. Then maybe the music school part is not what they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for a more specialized approach like vocal coach. They're looking for an actual vocal coach. And there's a whole website with its own parts, with its own people that are all over the world that offer that service. But again, this is all from me.
So when did you start business here in Florida?
I started it 6 years ago.
6 years.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's go back another step. Where did you go to school?
Yeah. I went to Stetson University.
Stetson. Okay.
Yeah, Hatters.
Right.
Go
Yeah.
Hatters. That's my alma mater. And amazing school. And I went there with kind of just like a big dream of, I just want to do something with music.
Okay.
Like, and whatever that is. And I was told, you have a really good voice. You have a very good, you have a lot of potential for
Okay.
that. And so I said, all right, great. And I was told Stetson was one of the best schools that offer like really, really in-depth education for music. And
Okay. Is it known
Yeah.
as a performing arts school?
yeah, actually
okay.
it is. The music portion of it, the music school portion,
Right.
was ranked within the top 5 best music schools in the Southeast.
Wow.
So yeah.
So was that your first choice?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I was
Right.
like, yeah, I'm
Now,
sold.
now isn't Boston University a pretty top-rated school?
Yeah.
I'm from Massachusetts, so I've known people to go to Boston University, and I've always heard that that's one of the better
Mhm.
ones.
Yeah,
so-
there's multiple all
Yeah,
over the country,
sure.
Berkeley
Yeah.
as well,
Okay.
and a couple. And that's the thing. It's like they all offer their special things,
right.
but for here in Florida, for me, that was Stetson. That's
Right.
like that's how I compare myself with it to. Like it's I was there, and when they say that we're conservatory style, like they mean it. Like
Right.
I was in there some days working, doing music from. I started like I don't know, 8 in the morning, and I would be practicing some things I had to practice for the next day till 12 at midnight. Yeah.
So
like, straight
so
Crazy.
your I guess what was your what instrument or instruments, or you said singing was a big part of your
Yeah.
is there other aspects of your talent?
Yeah. So I went there specifically for voice
Yep.
because that's where I was told, hey, you have great potential in this area. And I studied voice all 4 years while I was there, but I also had ever since I was young, I've always been just loving music, like instruments. So I've played, I mean, I play guitar, drums, bass, cello, piano, violin, like so many instruments, you name it. Like I'll pick it up, I'll work on it and learn it and jam with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I have passion
So
for it.
you know how to read, obviously read music and
Yeah.
write music and
Hmm.
all that. I can say a little of this stuff because my daughter spent 10 years in band
Oh,
through her
really?
entire, from probably fourth grade till
Hmm.
till she graduated. Probably not 10 years,
Hmm. Hmm.
but yeah. So, and she was a trombone player.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay. Yeah. So she had to
so
study that and
yeah,
practice it.
she definitely knew what she was doing. I've even tried to say, since she went to college and she's kind of living her life. She's in her mid 20s now, and I was kind of like, you really should, you know, don't let that talent go to waste, and
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
do
Oh, the
teach,
conversations.
and that's, well, I mean, it's part of the business that that I think you're kind of you're in, is
Hmm.
there's with the fine arts being diminished in the schools.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're like the first to go. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure you know more than I know
Absolutely.
about what's happening in the schools. So if they're being less, their budgeted is their budgets are
Always scrapped.
diminishing, always scrapping, and
Yeah.
if not the sports
Yeah.
program,
Not this
then the
year.
fine arts are
Fo-
usually first to go. And
Focus science, math,
yeah,
focus on the thing.
yeah,
Reading, don't
there's
bring
just
in.
no money
Yeah.
for it, and
Yeah.
there's at least one of the political parties says we don't want to pay for that. So
Hmm. Hmm.
so I'm sure it goes. So with all that, do you have parents saying, look, I want my kid to learn an instrument? Do you find parents contacting you and say, how do we get my child, um you know
Yeah.
I'll pay for the training, so do you do a lot of that, or did you start doing a lot of that, or
That's where I started. Like,
yeah.
so I, during the time I was at Stetson, I ended up realizing, I could go the traditional route. I could just end up applying for a job at a middle school somewhere close by. Again, nothing wrong with,
Right.
working in the schools and teaching in public education space. That already is is an amazing thing in itself. But for myself, I also be I've just always been so everywhere in the sense, like I just love creating things. And
You would lose that creativity in the curriculum if you were in that environment.
that's the thing. It's I've always liked to understand and break down how something is made. And then and then once I like, if I see something or I see someone do something
Hmm.
and show a creation of theirs, my first question is, what makes it what it is, and how, and where did it start?
Yeah.
Because I like to always
What's
I
the
like to
passion?
what yeah, I like to break it all down, know how it all works. And so that's kind of what led me to say, you know what, maybe this is something that I myself can create, and I can create a curriculum that works, a specialized specifically for the students, not kind of like for a general, like, okay, you're interested in singing, so just get in chorus. But it's more like, you're interested in singing, but what about the
What type?
singing? What type of singing? What kind of singing? What kind of skill?
Yeah.
What's your type of music? What's scene? What do you see yourself doing? Like, there's a lot more that I can focus on and help with. And that's where I started, where parents would, some parents would say, hey, can you teach my child, like basics like guitar and stuff, or piano? I was like, yeah, for sure.
It's funny you said that because I went into a music class with the guitar years ago, and I wasn't really interested in learning, how to read music. I just want to learn how to play some songs.
Hmm.
Of course, first thing you do is hand you a book and you're playing Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it didn't last too long, and I wasn't much interested in
Eh,
that. But I could have probably picked up a more freehand style, maybe learn to, ear learn. I know
Right.
it's kind of a talent you either have or you don't, but
Well, but you'd be
you can be
surprised.
taught.
That's
What I was interested in. They weren't interested in
and that's my point. That's why with my school, like, I've made it really clear that I've said, every single person that comes through our doors, every single person we meet, we make sure we let them know, hey, you know, if like we're gonna the first 30 minutes, first 15 to 20 minutes of the lesson,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna spend most of it just talking.
Yeah.
Like, because my most important thing is getting to know why they're here. Like, why, what makes you care about this? Like, why do you care? So I've had some students, both young and old, who, like, the young ones, they come in and some of them have told me, it's my mom told me to try it out, or I thought I liked it. And I had this one kid who, literally came in and his eyes were like dead. Like, he just walks in, he's just like, yeah, I'll just
They're
stuff
making me
on-
do it.
yeah, making me do it. I'm just trying it out. It's like a teenager. And then I remember he told me, like, I noticed, I was looking at his shirt. I saw that he had like some things about anime and things.
Mhm.
And then I played a tune of an anime, and literally you would see
His
his eyes
eyes
just
lit
go,
up.
what? You know what this is?
You made a connection
Yeah.
to something that he didn't even expect. That
Exactly.
yeah,
And
that's-
literally when I did that, he, like, the whole session, like, I was like, so show me something that you've tried to learn and you tried to teach yourself. And he was showing me. And so his parent was telling me that, well, I've been trying to make him, like, use books and learn to read and all this.
Mhm.
And then in the session, I realized that's not like he doesn't realize how good it's going to help him in the long run.
Yeah.
So I have to show him slowly, little by little, hey, you can figure this out right now. You can figure this part out without needing anything. No
Yeah.
books, no reading, nothing. I showed him how to do it.
Mhm.
But he's going to realize he's going to get into a roadblock.
Yeah.
And then when he gets there, that's where I'm there to help him say, hey, see, this is why you can read this part. And that's I make the school think of it that way. So that way the teachers do that.
There's something to be said to have a mentor, but a lot of people don't really, in business and whatever.
Absolutely,
It's very
I
helpful.
when I was in my early 20s, I rented a house with some other people, and the house was furnished, and they had a piano in there.
Hmm.
And I managed to teach myself one song.
Chopsticks?
No, it was actually Heart and Soul. It was Heart and
Oh
Soul.
yeah, heart and soul.
Because it's great because two people can play it, and I couldn't play both ends of it, but I could still do it, and which probably at that time the movie Big came out, which is
Yeah.
the Tom Hanks
Oh,
and the
yeah,
other
yeah,
guy,
yeah,
Robert Loggia. They were
The big
playing it
piano.
at
Mhm.
what's the place in New
Toy
York?
Store.
FAO Schwartz.
Uh-huh.
You know,
FAO
they had the
Schwartz.
big piano on the
Mhm.
On
floor.
the floor, yeah.
And that was a classic thing. So that was roughly right around the same time when I had access to a piano in a
Mhm.
house that I rented. So
Nice.
that's the extent of my musical ability.
Oh man.
So yes. Well, so do you have instructors in your business?
Yeah. It started with just me
Yep.
teaching, and then I ended up growing the business. I ended up working at finding a place to host it in Deltona. A guy named Nick Pisa, really awesome guy up there in that area. A lot of people love him in Deltona, and he gave me my start. He helped
Yeah.
me to start it up, and literally the first few months, of course, I was working a day job. I was working the day job, got in 8:30, got out at 4:30. I told my boss at my day job, hey, I need to leave right at 4:26 because then I can get through traffic
Yeah.
and make it by like 4:59 to teach my
Right.
5 o'clock
Yeah.
customer.
Right.
And then I would be teaching over there from like 5 to like 8:39 every single day. So
And a lot
the
of people
beginning.
do that. They have full-time jobs, and then they break away and have to,
Mhm.
go try and, get something moving.
Yeah.
Which is great. Did you have any pitfalls with this startup business? Was there something that kind of said, why the hell am I doing
Yeah.
this? And
What was I
You know,
thinking?
it happens.
I will be honest, for me, it was difficult to worry about that when I was doing something that I'm so passionate about. Like,
Right.
I found that for myself, like with the music part, because I was always one is I was doing my day job, which was the part that I'm like, I'm doing this because I need to day job.
Mhm.
But then going over there in the evenings kind of really replaced that. Like, I'll just relax at home, but really it was relaxing for me to go even to teach
Yeah.
and do that, because that's teaching and music are the two passions of mine. So that kind of helped me do that. Now the pitfall, I would say, would be is the scary part of trying to, like, really know, will this last? Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
can I make it happen? And that fear did come in a few times where I was doubting myself. I was kind of like, if I do this, uh where do I start to make it succeed? Like, grow, because at some point there's only enough hours in a day.
Yeah, and at some point you have to make enough money to let go of
Yeah.
the thing that you probably can let go of, but there's that fear that, when I jump into the pool, is there going to be water in there?
We
Yeah,
have
that's
this
the part.
conversation all the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
and not just that. I teach as well. I teach production for a distance learning film school,
Hmm.
like well, not like Full Sail. They don't have they don't have brick and mortar, but
Uh-huh.
I become the brick and mortar. So the
Yeah.
school places an apprentice with me, and the school pays me to teach them. So
Mhm, mhm.
now, just the other day, Trevor is his name.
Mhm.
He's he was asking me just out of the blue. He says, "Man," because he works a 30 almost full-time job
Mm.
stocking shelves at a supermarket for
Mhm.
a brand company.
Mhm.
So he shows up and stocks just that one shelf.
Wow.
And he said to me the other day, he said, "Man, I'm nervous about. I want to break away, but that paycheck, that regular paycheck,
Yeah.
is hard to break away
Yes,
from,
sir.
because not only
Gas in my car.
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
and we get back to that whole thing, and I was like, look, I heard this, I heard you say this, and now, and this goes back 20, 30 years. I mean, I had a job at a TV station right out of college, and then I left that and I came to Florida. Whoa, that was an eye opener.
Mhm.
And then that job in Florida was a 9 to 5 full time, and that lasted no time whatsoever.
Wow.
And it just, like, I just got here, and all of a sudden, boom, fired.
Mhm.
Where if I was still in Massachusetts, I'd still be working at the same company 30 years later. I'd be completely bald, about 200 pounds overweight.
What you trying to say?
Stress. Love what you do.
Yeah.
But
Right, right,
what
right.
you just said a few minutes ago was you love what you do, and
Makes a big
you will
difference.
never work a day in your life. If and that there is truth to
It's
that.
truth.
Love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So by doing that, I've had people, that have come in front of me. In fact, one of your guys that you brought with us today, he said he's from Full Sail, and
Mhm.
I've known so many guys, not just guys, young people coming out of Full Sail, and then they wind up, well, I'm just gonna go maybe work at Universal, and
Yeah.
they wind up at
Yeah.
Mel's Diner serving burgers
Because they
and
don't have the drive.
slinging
Mhm.
hash,
Passion.
and I'm
Yeah.
going, be careful, be careful. A lot of times, the student will, I'll go, well, I want a nice car, so I'll go get a car loan, and then I want this, and I'm like, don't do these things, because if you
Exactly.
go get a car loan, guess what? Now you're a slave to that car.
Mhm.
You
There
you
goes your
just
paycheck.
signed up for $300 coming out of your, and you cannot. I mean, Florida is kind of a freelance business.
Mhm.
Production in Florida is kind of like a freelance business.
Mhm.
The music industry is going to be different, but it's
Similar.
very similar.
Mhm.
So now it's just a matter of, do I invest all into my future, my business, or do I have some pretty nice things, like a nice
Yeah.
car, like a nice, and then, oh, let me just go ahead and get engaged to my high school sweetheart, and then we're
Mhm.
going to get married and drop a lot of money. Before you know it, that person is
Swallowed in debt.
swallowed in debt, and I'm trying to do two different things here. I'm trying to say, follow your passion, because you won't get a second chance. Sometimes once you get in, and all of a sudden, the last time I saw George before this past year was
Uh-huh.
about 10 years ago.
Wow.
And we would stay in touch, but 10
Mhm.
years.
Yeah, it's a
Because
big difference.
he was, you know,
Life, yeah,
he,
moving
you
life.
know,
Two
he was
jobs,
taking
7 days a week.
2 jobs,
Wow.
4 kids,
Many years.
wife,
Wow, wow,
everything,
wow,
and it's
wow.
kind of hard to you
Hey,
the
can you come out?
choices
No.
the choices are taken away from you.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
you're young and you're coming out of school, really be careful with all of a sudden swallowing a bunch of debt because you want to have a nice car. Yeah, I work out, I might work stocking shelves and I'm making decent money, or I wait tables, or I bartend, or I do something and I'm making decent money, 200-300 a week. Ooh, that's great.
Yeah.
Until you get a car payment, until and that insurance payment went up,
Insurance.
and then mom and dad says I gotta move out and pay my own rent,
Yeah.
and all of a
Or rent
sudden
in general.
before you know it, that $300 is gone.
So I guess like bringing that up, and this is something good that if there are like young people who are also if they watch this and they see it and they're thinking about after college, like I do want my career, like
Yeah.
I want to follow this passion.
Yeah.
The thing that I was not taught in college, and fortunately for many reasons, family not knowing well about it, but
Money.
how to manage money financially,
Oh,
like
yeah,
how to manage
None
money,
of them do.
what to
That's-
do with
and-
it,
and- and kids, young people are going out getting tons of loans to get through school, and then realizing, oh, I'm 30, 40, 50, $100,000 in student loan debt. And
Mhm.
then right on the top of all that, they're just going, where's, they're just starting to implement money management in college.
Yeah.
Well,
Now the big thing is, getting that early credit card,
Well, yeah. So what happened with me was,
Discovered.
and
Yeah.
actually you reminded me, this was a pitfall for me. This actually, I feel like this was one of the factors that held me back from growing even faster sooner,
Mm.
which was because I would work in the evening and work in the day, and I was making a decent amount of money for like, a 19-year-old to be living with. But of course, I'm working like way over 40 hours a week
Mhm.
doing that. But the second thing was that the moment I thought in my head, okay, maybe I can put some money into buying some new things I need, or put some money into this, like I'd start getting those creative thoughts of like, hey, what if I invested in like some equipment and
Yeah.
some stuff that I
Mhm.
could that would make me more money.
Buying an asset.
Then came my credit card
You're-
bills.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then I
Careful.
was like, oof, wait,
Yeah.
well, I'll hold off on buying that. I need to pay this credit card bill real
Yeah.
quick. And it took me months to get a little more mature and be like, okay, hold on.
Well, at least you didn't go, let me just get another credit card.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And
Oops.
get
I'll
it
fix that problem.
more in that. And so I ended up starting to learn and really seek. That's where seeking for help and looking for resources is gonna be like
Yeah.
whatever situation. If you're
Well,
in debt, yeah.
You do your homework first of all.
your homework.
I don't have a problem with spending credit card debt on a piece of equipment that's going to make you money.
Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
For a lot of years, Full Sail was preaching, don't buy a camera. Really, most of the 90s were all about don't buy a camera. Why? Because cameras were $30,000.
Crazy.
Okay. And then the late 90s happened, and then they flipped the script because all of a sudden one of the manufacturers said, oh, you want this camera.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they went, yeah, we want that camera. And then all of a sudden the students, they started buying cameras because now it became, when it was $30,000 for a camera, now it's only $5,000. And all of a sudden it got real important at Full Sail to buy. I'm not knocking Full Sail. Full Sail is a great school and they teach a lot of, but you say something about paying for, investing in equipment, even a high interest credit card compared to a piece of gear that can make you money.
Yeah.
Just be smart about
where
you are expecting to get paid to do this.
Yeah.
Now, if it's about just, if you just build a music sound studio with the ADA, all the bells and whistles,
Mhm.
and your goal is to, create music and sell it and get distribution and get,
Mhm.
then that's a long-term
Goal, yeah.
that's a
yeah.
long-term
Bigger
goal.
risk.
If you're looking to start up a sound studio to let people come in and cut demos, that's a short-term goal, because then you can come in,
Start paying for stuff.
then they can actually start paying for things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard a bloop.
Sounds
and
like
I
Alex.
thought- Is Alex there?
It looks like it.
Might be.
Oh, Alex, Alex, are you coming in, Alex? Come on, baby.
You gotta let him
But-
We
But-
heard a little bloop, and
You let him in?
he's got to. His camera's not on.
Yeah, just look it, see if we can hear him.
Hey, Alex, you out there? Hello.
He'll be in. He'll be in a minute. He's awesome.
He's muted.
Yeah. I think he's supporting us. He's supporting.
You know, sometimes
Okay,
when
well-
you come in on the phones.
Oh,
the
yeah,
connection
I
yeah.
isn't
gotta.
good, and
Yeah,
you
we'll
get
see a
half of it,
camera.
yeah.
So if you look over there, see a camera.
Yeah.
If I'm not
cool,
looking,
cool.
so maybe Alex will pop in and join us. That'd be great. So,
Yeah.
but I've, yeah, my car's used. I pay cash for it. I don't,
Mhm.
but I've got cameras. I've got, I've spent probably like, if you think you've spent a lot of money on equipment, I've got you beat. I've
Yeah,
got
yeah.
most people beat. You can't look around and go, and I don't get rid of anything. Every camera I think I've ever bought,
I was just about to
I
say
still
that.
have. But
Yeah.
you know what?
I've
I'm
helped them
using
clean
it.
You're using
here.
it.
I'm using all this stuff. I put it all together just to build something new.
He has
Exactly.
boxes up top over there from stuff he bought 10 years ago.
But hey, it all comes back. It all
Yeah.
comes back, and it all comes in use.
So-
hey, and that, by the way, I will say, a good tech person is the one who always have every kind of backup you need.
Yeah, right.
Anything
Yeah.
happens,
Oh,
he's got
yeah.
the backup piece
Yeah,
part.
and
you
people
know?
come in all the time and they go, "You have lighting?" I'm like, "Really?
What kind
How
of
much?
lighting would
How
you
much?
like?
How much light?"
Which
And then they
one?
go, "Yeah, do you have one of these?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Do you have some diffusion for a light?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some of
Yeah.
that.
Hang
So
on.
you just, go ahead,
Yeah.
try me now.
Yeah, right.
You have a gimbal? Yeah, I got 2 of those gimbals.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
got a couple of those cameras. I got a couple. I
And if
don't
they-
have any of those tripods though. You gotta like get rid of that. Get that out of my sight. That tripod. Yeah,
So
you know,
bad.
just
He is like
You
that.
know.
Yeah, that's
you
funny.
know. And of
He's
course, you're looking
prejudiced.
at it and going, yeah, but I'm looking at your microphones. And
Nah.
they're not all that great. A
No.
professional singer, and he's looking at my little Samsung microphones, and they actually do sound pretty good. They're
Yeah,
not
they
like
do. They do.
they're
For
not like
podcasts, they're great.
$200 mics, but they're decent.
Yeah,
they're
that's what
they
matters.
do the trick. And of course, I got $3 headphones, so you're really not hearing what the mics can do.
But I hear you.
yeah, but
That's what
that's all
matters.
we're here for,
Well,
and
people breaking left and right. So.
Yeah.
and so, but it's really where to spend your money in business, where to did you ever like advertise? Did you ever kind of like, how did you advertise to get your clients, your initial customers?
So actually, that's a perfect spot to continue on there, because when I started getting a few students and I've had my place, of course, I did it on my own. Like I bought my own printer. I started creating my own flyers.
Right.
I started like researching
Yeah.
like what type of paper I need, what type of ink do I need to buy, like
Mhm.
what kind of program I can use to make it look nice. And
Yeah. So you're a trained professional musician, and now you have to be a graphic artist.
I got to be a graphic artist. I got to
Okay.
be an advertiser, a marketer, a business manager.
It's a multi-hat.
Did
yeah.
you do your own taxes?
Yeah, I had to
you
do
know?
my own taxes. I had to learn all that in the beginning. And the thing was, doing that, well, one thing I will say that is such important part. You could advertise the heck out of your business and just make it look like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
But when the people come in and the feeling and the vibe of what the things they get off of you,
Right.
immediately, like all of that goes to nothing,
Right.
because how you treat your customer
Mhm.
is like 10 times more important than like
Sure.
what it says. Because I would all my the beginning literally grew mostly because of word of mouth.
Word
Like
of mouth.
everybody was like saying, hey, Ryan's the guy you need. Ryan's the person who you're looking for.
For me
Nice.
back in the 90s was the phone book. believe it or not, there was this thing called a
Mhm.
phone book, and it was
The-
really thick in Orlando. It was like
He
probably
was kind of
that
young. He's probably
thick,
never seen one.
The
And-
yellow pages you're
and-
talking
yeah,
about.
and the
Yeah,
yellow
pages.
and you could actually, there are white pages which had everyone's phone number.
Yeah.
in.
I heard about that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not cell phones. This is before cell phones.
Yeah.
Home
They
phones.
actually, you could go through in alphabetical. You can actually find somebody's phone
You could
number
just call
and
Mrs.
call them.
Jones.
You could just randomly call people and you get numbers.
Mrs.
in this
that's,
book.
Wow.
And then,
Yeah.
of course, in the back half of the phone
That's
book
old school.
Yeah, yeah.
are these yellow pages
Yeah.
where there are businesses in alphabetical order and by, different various types of businesses. And I used to buy advertising in those, and it did very well for me
Yeah.
up until about 2007.
Mm.
And of course, every year the phone book sales guy would come to me and say,
You sign it
about
up.
ready to sign up for next year, like 8 months later,
Yeah.
not next week, but sign up. Oh, the book's coming out in about 8 months. So I want you to buy an ad right now for
Yeah.
something 8 months
So
from now.
ahead. Wow.
But you know what? I'm going to do it. And,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and
You
of
still do
course,
it?
huh?
You still do
Oh,
it?
no, hell no.
I was gonna
No,
say.
but in
2021.
2007, I can actually, I when that person's about to call me, I go, Then I started I looked back at my income statement for the previous 6 months, and I go, my business is in the toilet
Ah,
because the phone book isn't producing anymore.
as
Yeah.
much.
So the
yeah.
world just said, this isn't where.
No more phone
So
books.
now, if you want to advertise, Google is your friend.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I will say that so the word of mouth part helped a lot. It
Mm,
helps to
It has
grow
to,
it.
yeah.
And the first year I'd say I started like mid-year, and by the end of the first year, I had at the end of the year like 15 clients. Like that's it. Like that first year I started. The second year, so the second year, by the end of the year, I had about 80
Nice.
from 15.
Nice.
80, and that was by the mid of the year. 80.
Right.
And the thing was that what helped was the thing that everyone was telling me to do, which was put your name online, get
Yeah.
a website,
Yeah.
get a Facebook page,
Yeah.
get on Google.
Yeah.
And I didn't pay for any advertising. So
Right.
at that time when I was doing all that, there was already I don't know if it's because of less saturation or because of my competition, but a lot of other music schools that were close by weren't really like they weren't really using their websites, or they weren't using online as like, hey, like I'm interacting with you. It's
Yeah.
like here's a flyer. It was like the website was a flyer
Yeah.
rather than like, hey, no, you can actually go on the website, you can click here, you can click there.
Yeah.
I started researching and playing with that. And I realized it helped a ton because tons of people were then, and this is a funny story, literally a block away, there was a sign of another music business.
Right.
I forgot the name already, but see, that's how bad they didn't advertise. But they had the sign there, and they were open for business and stuff. And I remember that I had a few clients who, this was like a year after I opened business, and they said, hey Ryan, did you realize there's a music school right down the street right there? And I said, oh really? Really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I had tons of people coming to the doors asking for music.
Mhm.
And it shows you like you could literally be sitting next to your competition.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that online presence and you don't show like
Well,
engagement,
You
yeah.
gotta have a worthy name. You gotta make a name for yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta
Mhm.
have the ability. All you are in business is how you do business,
Mhm.
how you treat your customers, and how you do what you say you can do.
Mhm.
If you can, don't say it if you can't do it.
Yeah,
You know,
Right.
because
worst
you're
thing you can do.
you are your word, and
Yeah.
believe it or not, between that and if your customer services are spot on, then people are gonna they're gonna bring more to the table. And talk about 80 students your second year. Talk about
That's great.
80 income streams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Even though it's still coming from 80 different accounts, 80
Yeah,
different.
sure.
So one person can say, screw you, I'm
Yeah.
done, or they just say, I'm out of money, I can't pay you anymore.
diversity.
then you pivot a little
Oh,
bit.
and by the way, that's 80 active people. That's
Right.
not counting the wait list that I had.
Ah.
So there was a wait list too. It was because
Yeah,
I could only handle.
That's not your problem to have.
But now let's talk about a wait list, because
Yeah.
you make someone sit in a wait list. It's almost like if I had to wait in line to get into a restaurant that I wanted to eat at, and they said, yeah, it's
You
going
can
to be
wait for
an
a little
hour,
bit.
I'm going to start looking for someplace else. Did you have that? Do you have that kind of?
You know,
issue?
I avoided that, and I helped avoid that because I was consistently focused on the student, making sure that, like, that's my point about online.
Right.
They're engaging. So if they're waiting, I'm doing my due diligence. So I'm actively finding where can I fit them in and
Right.
when and how.
Right.
The second thing is that while they're waiting, I make sure they know, hey, the reason why you're waiting is because one is either, it's a little difficult, but two,
Right.
I want you to have the perfect person to work with you or work with your child, because I don't want to just shove you in there. You take classes with this person, and then it's like, this is what I was gonna get, and sometimes again, it's not because of the instructors that I found that weren't good at handling working with students, but again, it was like just some people they don't mix. They just
Yeah.
they just don't mix
Personalities
well.
definitely.
Personalities don't,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I've told that to all my clients. I've said, hey, if you do a class with a teacher of mine and you just don't like them, you can take the second class with another teacher completely free. You don't pay for it
Mhm.
until you find the right person. And if it ends up where it's like, no, we just want you, then I'll try to make it work. But just letting you know, I'm a little more pricey. It costs a little more.
I've seen-
Keep
I've
your
had
rates
that
up.
happen,
Yeah,
you
it's hard
know.
to raise your rates, but it's very easy to
Yeah.
to maintain them if you're sought after.
Sure.
Yeah.
But no, that brings up. Let's kind of pivot to the present day.
Mhm.
Because the show's half over, so
Time's
we need to
flying.
kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
move on a little bit. So
Cool.
present day, how many people do you have working for you?
So I think I already lost count, Nick. I
Over
think-
100?
No, that would be amazing. Not yet. I think around almost 20.
20.
I got about
That's not
20
bad.
people.
20
almost.
people. Now, are they
Yeah.
freelance?
Some of them are. A lot of them are interns as well that I've gotten from different
Okay.
universities, different schools. A lot from my alma mater,
Okay.
and a lot of them are interns. But this year is like it's been the year for the business and growth, because it's literally, and Simon can tell you, like we've become an organization. Like
Right.
it was just before like a group of people finding where they fit and doing things. Now it's like, no, we all have some roles now.
Okay.
Like, hey, I'm gonna come to you when I have a question about this particular thing, and I'm gonna come to you for that.
All
When
right.
before it was like, hey, somebody, does anybody know about this?
So you
Yeah.
have 20 active teachers.
Well, not just teachers,
Or-
marketing,
Okay. Wow.
teachers, like I've got like
A full
sales,
full
also
business
sales.
scope.
It's a full
Yeah.
business. It's a
Okay.
full business.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you is there? I mean, do you find it more cost effective to have freelance versus?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, because we get a thing like a pandemic, and you can take your freelancers and say, look, we're gonna have to pivot here, but don't go far.
Yeah. So actually mentioning about that, especially now, 2021, like gig economy is just it's huge. Like
Right.
gig economy, like people getting contracted, independent contractors. Like to me, I imagine like the IRS is like every single year, like, man, we're getting way more 1099s like lately. And it's because people are because it's getting more easier to work online, to
Right.
find jobs like Fiverr and websites like that. And so yeah, I have a lot of people who are good at that.
So are your instructors still doing one-on-one, or are they doing it through Zoom, or what's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and that too.
Yeah.
It's 2021, so I think I'd say about 90% of our clients are virtual,
Okay.
because when the pandemic first happened, of course, it's like everyone was afraid of going anywhere and breathing air anywhere. So
Did that change your pricing structure at all doing it virtual?
no,
You know.
business just continued as usual. I just adapted. Like
Yeah.
we just adapted
Yeah.
and already like looked up, okay, what do we need? We need Zoom, we need apps, we need
Right.
this program, we need that program. And then the other thing is I used to always have office meetings.
Right.
I used to always have like when like our team we would meet together.
Right.
We all had to now meet from home.
Yeah.
So now how are we gonna work in an office setting but from home?
Right.
And I had to come up with, like programs that facilitated that.
Mhm.
Great.
And yeah.
So did you take a hit last year?
Definitely.
Because
But-
we're at tax. Technically, today is tax day, so even though our taxes have been
Pushed a little bit.
pushed
yeah.
a little bit, so I'm sure you're looking at your your end of the year and how did you do? Did you lose a big chunk or
Yeah.
Yeah.
From 2019.
you don't have to get specific? Just,
Yeah, I won't. Yeah, but from 2019 to 2020, at least half.
Wow.
Of a drop.
50%.
Yeah, at least.
I can probably attest to that as well.
Yeah.
Of all the conventions I did, and conventions were a big part of my monthly receipts, and that obviously went away completely. But yeah, I could probably say close to half
Yeah.
of my business is just
And-
and it's money you don't get back. It's not like
Yeah,
the
no.
Right.
government can't even replace that. Those losses, but you take the loss and you pivot.
Well, actually, and I see that as a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, literally when that hit happened, it was basically kind of like it almost opened and cleared my mind
Yeah,
and made me really deeply focus on finances, business finance.
Mhm.
Like just I was already studying it a little, but
right.
Working smart with what you got.
right. But then yeah, exactly. It forces you to have to like, okay, now this is what I'm left with. So how am I gonna manage and still do the best I was doing, still
Right.
offer the great services I was offering
Right.
with half of what I had?
Right.
That's
did you
really
did you
hard.
actually check out the SBA?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
did you
did.
do anything with them?
Yeah, yeah.
Which one did you get?
I got the EIDL. That helped.
Me too.
Absolutely. I
Do-
got
do
the
you know they extended the payback on that for
Mhm.
like another year?
yeah, I know.
We just heard that last week.
Really?
Loans you don't. Yeah, my first payment was due like in July because that's when
Mhm.
I got about a year ago. And I got an email like a week ago that said I meant to say this last week, but they said we're going to let you drift another year before you have to start paying the thing back. I was hoping Uncle Joe would just say,
That's forgiven.
"We'll forgive you." He'll bequeath this forgiveness upon us.
Upon you.
Who knows? But
Yeah.
but yeah. So that I'm glad that, and of course that bought you through a few months to kind
Yeah.
of get things going.
And the thing was that the EIDL, Orange County had its own. They had their own relief program
Yeah.
too for
did
businesses.
you get somewhere with
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
I was told that I shouldn't apply by actually someone who was part of like organization, like not like nonprofit who
Right.
helps businesses. And they were
that?
like, "Oh, you probably won't get it, so you maybe apply."
See,
But I applied and
I
I'm
looked-
like, still try.
I looked at Orange County as well as the state of Florida, and they were offering, but see, I didn't at the time. I only work with freelancers, so I didn't have any employees,
Mhm.
and I was the only employee, and it said you have to have a certain amount of So I didn't even
Mm.
attempt because I run a thin, very only freelance ship here,
Mhm.
so I didn't even the website basically said you don't really qualify before I
Mhm.
even apply. Don't waste your time. Which and then I think they pivoted a little bit with the language
That's what happened.
at some point, which I was kind of like and by then now the other thing too is the the SBA is offering like a second. You can go back for more money.
Yeah, I saw that, but it's not
Yeah.
like it's not a big difference. It's like a small amount. I think it was.
Well, it really depends on the number you're going after,
Yeah, true.
too,
Depends
but
on your numbers.
yeah,
That's what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they are opening they opened up the floodgates a little bit to let you know there's more money if you're in need. And I'm staying away from it right now because, I think, we're finding our feet and, getting back to where we want to get. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so really cool. You got the SBA loan and yeah, a lot of that's helped out a lot of people. And then we'll just see, of course, the interest rate's almost nothing. Like
Yeah.
a 20-year fixed rate, I think I
It's
don't even think
tiny.
it's 1%. I mean, and of course, pay it back for the next 20, 30 years based
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
that
I mean,
principle. But,
yeah. No,
uh,
I'm paying it like the goal is if there's a certain revenue goal that we have for the year. So
sure.
so if we get to like by the fourth quarter, if we get close to that number already, I'm just gonna pay it off at the end of the year if whatever's left over.
Right.
And
right.
that's the goal. Yeah.
Better buy
Not
some
worried
new
about.
equipment.
That's what I.
More gear. More gear. I'm
That's
constantly
it. That's it. Yeah.
buying more gear. Anyway, so it's great. Let's talk about the future a little bit here since we've got some no, we've got 10 minutes ish.
Yeah.
We don't have to, we're not cut off at 8 o'clock. So but let's talk about the future now. What is Ace Music Academy?
So that is like I was talking about the umbrella. That's Ryan Ace Music is the brand.
Yeah, let me go ahead and share that screen in here a little bit.
Yeah, Ace Music Academy. That is the official school, and this is like it's complete branded. It's basically ready to even be franchised this way. So
no kidding, franchising.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that's a nice pivot.
Absolutely. So it's got the school itself, and the main location is in over by OBT and I-4,
right?
Orange Blossom Trail and I-4, and
Right.
so that's where, like I said again, we have all the teachers there. We have classes. Even in that same space, we're gonna be. I created a recording studio.
Okay.
So same thing. I get students who are like, "Hey, I'd like to record a demo or something."
Right.
They go into right there. They just go to the next room and it's like, "Hey, here's the recording studio spot."
Have you been to the Orange County Library, the new facility at the third floor?
Not
facility?
yet. I heard about it.
Oh, just do a walkthrough.
They put a lot of money in there.
And if you're in Orange County, I'm not sure. Are you in
Yeah,
Orange County? So go get a library card and you can use it.
Oh yeah.
And all they have to do is check you out, make sure you know how to use and what
Yeah.
it is. Now, this what is it called? It's called something center. The something center. I can't think of the name. I can Google it, I'm sure. But the yeah, I mean, they have music recording studios, they have video production studios, they have a green screen, they have photography studio. They've got the entire third floor of the Orange County Public Library dedicated. I mean, they spent millions of dollars on private donation to create a creative space. They have a robotics lab. They have a maker space. I think they even have a knitting lab. I mean,
where do they advertise this? They don't. Where
you pretty much go to the library.
That's the thing. That's how you know.
Go upstairs and you'll get a walkthrough. And now before the pandemic, they were doing a lot of through Meetup.com. You could actually kind of take a class in music recording. I actually attended a meeting there on music for film or mixing for film, and the guy was doing a whole demonstration there. It was really neat. One other thing I noticed, another facility just opened up, Boys and Girls Club.
Oh, actually, I've been in conversation with them.
I got to do a film. I was the original person doing the film when the paint is just drying.
Oh wow.
And myself and my guy Trevor, we got to do a walkthrough with cameras
Are you talking about the one
and
that's over in over
downtown.
downtown?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
near
that place.
right near the.
There's a 7-Eleven gas
Yeah,
station close by, and
yeah,
like by
yeah.
I-4. Yeah.
It's not in a great neighborhood, but it's in part of the downtown district is expanding right around that.
Right around it.
So
Yeah, I know
so
exactly what you're talking about.
But this facility is incredible. They have two music labs that all the instruments are lined up. They've got a fine arts. They have a gymnasium, and then they have a theater built in the gymnasium. They just
Right.
open the curtains up. I mean, the whole place. They spent, I don't know, they spent like $6 million, something like that,
Wow.
on private donation for the girls. I was like, how? I want to be a teenager again and go to the girls and boys clubs. They have one floor for like it's set up between like a certain age group,
Uh-huh.
So they have one floor. They doubled everything. So whatever's on the first floor is on the second floor for a different age
Wow.
group.
Yeah.
Oh what?
And oh yeah, oh you
Crazy.
gotta do a walkthrough of this place.
Man, I gotta
It
call
is-
them again.
It is
It's been a while.
It is incredible. And like I said,
Ah.
I was just in there as they were doing a public unveiling. The next day, I was in there the day before. The
Mhm.
guy's still painting, and
Wow.
I'm in there filming this thing, and I'm going, oh my god,
That's awesome.
they have a robotics lab. They have computer labs. They have a lab with like 20 brand new Mac computers. They're just, I mean, so much going on. It really rivaled what the library did.
Right. So
know.
so that's the thing. That's wonderful, which is um that's kind of where I am trying to also be in part of that space too. Because the thing is that, like I've said about that one-stop shop idea, right? Of course, the beautiful thing is there are people who are supporting the arts, even if it's in the schools. It's kind of tough. Outside of the schools, that's awesome because if a student comes to me and says, hey, I want to use a space and I want to record, I just can't buy it at home. I don't have money and my home life is not that great. I'd rather not be home. This is something right there. That's a resource. It's like, hey, you could go to Orange County Library, or you could go to the Boys and Girls Club.
I mean, and I tell people all the time, if you're trying to do something, and if you have a library card, you got to get checked out. They'll have to actually check you out on the gear, but then you can use it. You can schedule time to use it, and it's completely underused.
Right. Well, so here's what I wanted to bring up, this other part about the business.
Sure.
And actually is a perfect segue too. If you go back to the Ace Music Academy website,
Okay.
you'll see that there's also a section that talks about, if you scroll down, you'll see we have also the Ryan Ace Music Foundation.
Okay.
And what that is basically when I was young, I myself was like that. I was going
That's not
to
you though, right?
No.
Okay, all right.
No, not playing the little ukulele.
Yeah.
No, but I used to go to the Salvation Army after school,
Okay.
trying to meet new friends, be creative, try to find things to do. I would always stay after school and be in the practice rooms. I remember there was a just quick little story. There was a janitor lady, and she was like very, very stern with a lot of teens because, of course, in high school.
All over the place.
But I remember I would always go into the auditorium and I would stay after school and practice in the practice room, walk around where the choir room was, go to the auditorium. I would be there around 6 o'clock at night still by myself, singing on the stage and stuff. And I remember the janitor lady came one night, and because of her reputation, I was like, oh, shoot, she's going to kick me out. And so she said, when I stopped doing what I was doing and she walked in, she's like, no, you can keep going. Keep going. Like, keep working on what you're working. I'm gonna be here for a little while. So let me know when you need to leave, and I'll let you out the door. And it was so nice because that's the thing. It's like I wanted to express and get better, and she saw that. She saw that I had no ill will. I wasn't trying to do anything, like trying to be a rebel. I was just loving what I was doing. So the same thing is when I find students and kids, that's the thing. It's like I want them to feel like, hey, there's people who who love what they do just as much as you want to do that too. So we want to foster you doing that. So if you can't afford free music classes right now, we have a number of students that are taking classes for free. They're not paying a penny
Right.
online from different places around Florida.
Okay.
And then students who are like, I can't afford an instrument, or I can't rent these things. We get donations from people all the time online. I go Facebook surfing sometimes, and there's people who have a drum set or a guitar, and there's
Free. Just go pick
just
it up.
getting rid of it. And I'm like, or even I've had people who are selling it, and I say, hey, would you be willing to donate it? This is the reason why. And they're like, all right, sure, just come pick it up,
Come get it.
come get it. And that's the thing. It's like, I want to make sure that they're equipped, they got what they need. And knowing of this about, that's why I want to work with the Boys and Girls Club. I want to work with the library, with those businesses too, because that's the thing. It's like they have it there, but how do they network it out? Like, how do they connect it to say, like, somebody comes up and says, I just want to play around with these things. There's others who are out there who are like, this is my passion. I just don't know where to find it.
Right.
Or I don't have the support to come here and do it. So
How to use it.
That's the foundations part. So that that's the kind of thing I want to help out.
There you
So
go. So, wow, it seems like you're going in the right directions, and if you can, it's philanthropy. It's actually bringing what the schools are taking away, bringing back, which is great.
that's that goal.
Yeah, and that you really can't buy that kind of what's the word? You just can't buy that image. You can't go out and spend your marketing money to create an image. You actually have to build your image that way. And that you can't. That's probably one of the best things you can do for success, is to have an image that people want. You're drawing people to you, as opposed to just kind of becoming a vending machine. They're just swiping credit cards in your
Yeah.
face,
That's the thing.
We do like that once in a while,
Yeah.
the concept of that. But you do have to kind of be that that person that people, that word of mouth, that I'm
Yeah.
running out of things to
Oh
say.
no, that's the
So,
thing. It's
yeah.
the that's why, like, from the beginning, like I mentioned, it's I'm setting up the whole ecosystem
Yeah.
where, let's say, a parent comes, and from that one parent, they know one person who is a recording artist, they know another person who has a child who can't afford classes.
Yep.
They know another person who is trying to network. And then there's another, like, once one person is part of our school ecosystem, they've shopped, the goal is to reveal to them everything else we offer, like Vocal Coach Access,
Right.
like Ace Music Academy, the actually up and coming Ace Music Shop. That's another website that's going to be a completely online e-commerce. So whatever instrument they need. But that's the thing. It's like, once they're plugged in,
Yep.
like, hey, man, I didn't know. I just came for a class, but I didn't know you offered all these other things. Like, I was gonna go 6 different places to get them. It just might as well just get it all here.
Right.
And that's the goal.
That's great. You can't, that's a great place setting to put yourself in for the future.
Environment.
Just to be able to do that. And that's being pandemic proof. That's being, fail proof in a way.
And like you
So-
said at the beginning, multiple eggs.
Yeah.
Multiple eggs in the basket. That's
Yeah.
literally it. It's
So
multiple streams.
lots of streams, lots of being smart with the way you do, and enjoying what you do. Because if you don't enjoy it, nobody's gonna enjoy it for you. If you don't enjoy what you do, change it, pivot, do something you enjoy, find your way out of it. and don't make it difficult for yourself to make those changes. And I'm talking to your young people that are just coming out of school, and be careful. This is a delicate time. You can set yourself up and be incredibly prosperous
Mhm.
in things that you actually enjoy doing, and or you can dig a hole.
Yeah.
Dig a
Yeah.
hole, climb in, and get comfortable because you're going to be there a while.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Right.
it's a hard reality. A lot of kids, they wound up graduating without even walking down the aisle. They
Mhm.
graduated, so they kind of didn't get that rite of passage. And all of a sudden now there's a bunch of people that feel displaced, I think, maybe,
Mm.
students, young people that are displaced because they go, I don't feel like I've transitioned,
I worked for all that.
so all of a sudden now, and I don't think those teachers, those mentors in schools really just could just kind of tell them, hey, look, let's be smart about this next year, and
Mhm.
you know look for those places, look for those areas. So let me ask you this,
Yeah.
real last, I think this is the last, are you hiring?
Am I hiring?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Actually, that's funny. Yeah, we're definitely hiring.
You're hiring,
Of
so you're
course.
gonna need to, like, going forward, what are you hiring for? More instructors, or?
Well, that I'm hiring in almost every area except marketing. Marketing, we're solid. Like we
Yeah.
got a lot of people, but I'm hiring production interns.
Okay.
It's funny, yeah. So because we're basically, like I said, this year is now we're setting up the entire studio space to
Right.
be able to offer like funny last just 2 nights ago we did our first podcast,
Mm-hmm.
run through too ourselves, but again for our type of series for music
Mm-hmm.
and the Orlando music scene, and our goal is going to be to have like Orlando bands, or like even young bands too, like up and coming ones, come in and interview with us, and we can talk to them and say, hey, you're here in Orlando. So production is going to be a good one, because that's
Right.
we want the ones who like production but also like music,
Right.
so that way they like what they're doing too,
Yeah.
Well, one of
and
the things coming out of production school, you think, I want to make music videos and
Hmm.
work with like really great artists and all that stuff, and then
yeah.
sometimes it doesn't always work that way. But you wind up, making music videos for people that really shouldn't be in music.
No.
Unfortunately, that I've had more than my share of music video clients when it just, oh my goodness, and you have to pretend you enjoy their music, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounded good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't lie to somebody I just, don't ask me.
Don't
Don't
ask
ask.
me.
Don't ask the question.
Well, so
You
we're
know.
we're not. I'm not also saying that we're gonna offer like music videos,
I
like
understand.
production. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's more of that again. Same thing. It's you need somebody who has a music video production
Right.
place.
Right.
Here it is.
Right.
But we'll
Yeah.
do the interviewing for you. We'll do the, getting your name out there, your
Yeah.
word out there.
Right.
Because again, that's the point of my business. It's like, how can I help you get connected?
What's the next step? So that's usually a big question. Oh, I think my music's good. I think my talents are there. What's the next step?
Mhm.
And of
I'll
course,
make it work.
I'm not sure there's a YouTube video on how to be the next America's Got Talent
Probably is, but it
winner.
isn't any good is the question.
Yeah,
Raises more questions than
Yeah.
answers.
they'll
Yeah.
YouTube tells you a lot of things. I'm not sure they can tell you how to become a pop star or anything
Yeah.
like that. But and there's so much more to it than that.
Yeah.
There's so much more. Whether you sing in church, or or you start a band, or you just like to sing.
Right, but actually, and I now that you mentioned that, I did want to also include one more detail, which is
Yeah.
um I see what I do and everything as a launching platform. Like it's a launching platform, pretty much. Like people come and they take classes,
Mm-hmm.
people come and they get the equipment they need,
Yeah.
they come and they find the connections they need,
Yeah.
and then when they hit, and somehow, by by the grace of God or science or whatever you believe in, that they just blow up. They
Yeah.
just blow up. The thing is that they're equipped to handle how they're blowing up now. That's the
Okay.
thing. It's like that's what I'm trying to do, is be that launch pad, be that platform. And then, wow, crazy enough, this, Warner Chappell heard of this singer that we interviewed in Orlando because of our podcast.
Wow.
Nice.
Like, that's the thing. That's my full hopes and dreams. And then,
You never know who's in the audience.
you never know. And then all of a sudden, and one more scenario, wow, they actually launched, and they're telling them, hey, but you need to fly over here, and it's going to cost you $2,000 or $3,000 or whatever. Hey, just apply for the scholarship. You might get it. Apply for the foundation.
Mhm.
That might be the funds you need to
Yeah.
help you take you there. See what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
sure.
that's my dream. That's my like future dream. It's like someone comes and literally from start to finish, like their career just gets launched.
Oh, I apologize. That is wrong. I actually have a typo in one of the. So let me fix that and put that in. It's very quick to fix. So save and
StreamYard. That's cool.
Music Academy
.org.
and
then real soon they could use .com, and it'll both take to the same place.
All right,
Mhm,
absolutely, absolutely. Well, Ryan, it is a pleasure to talk to you about this, and I'm so thrilled. Alex was, brought you to us, and use the site, especially if you're hiring.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because Modern Day Thrive is all about, we did a jobs show a couple of weeks ago, and it was about like where to look, how to find. One of our thrivers, Jade, she was actually putting stuff out, for quick money. You want to participate in market research,
I did
make a
one.
couple $100. And George actually participated in the
$100.
thing.
Yeah.
So thanks
Quick
to
and easy.
Jade for doing that. But as you're needing to hire and things like that, then there's that opportunity. Maybe we can find people for you. I found someone a job last week.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good.
actually, is a guy who fixes my AC, and the landlord here, he was asking me if I knew anybody that wanted a job. He needed someone to deliver parts and pick up parts and do deliveries and whatnot. And I, I had my guy just working on my AC here, and I just blurted it out, and he goes, "Really?"
Sign
And
me up.
and it was like he still has his his gig, but he's like, yeah, I kind of need a paycheck, need a
Mhm.
paycheck.
Before we go, don't
So
forget to mention
what's that? What am I forgetting to mention?
2 weeks.
Oh, in 2 weeks. Yeah, no, I was gonna end on that.
Oh, I have one more thing to plug into.
Oh
One
my
final
goodness.
thing.
All right, what's that?
The final thing is actually
it is the Ryan show.
no, it's just the
Okay.
final thing. Can you go to the Ace Music Academy website? This is actually really important.
I'm already there. Just need to kind of punch it up. All right.
If you
So
see
where
it
do I wanna
says
go? Yes.
scroll down right there, the fundraiser.
Fundraiser.
So this is actually live. Like, this is right now going on until the 23rd, until
Okay.
the end of this next week. So we basically, this is our first biannual fundraiser that we're hosting. And again, the job is to have people go into the website. They go
Right.
there,
Right.
and they can either sign up to help us spread the word,
Right.
or if you go back and then you'll see the second option. If they just want to contribute money directly, they just click on donate to the fundraiser. And
Absolutely.
again,
absolutely.
this money
So,
we're trying to raise the money for, like what I was mentioning. It's
right.
being able to offer a scholarship for kids who want to go to college for music, being able to offer like free music classes where they don't have to pay for them, free instruments,
Right.
purchase whatever they need, the
I,
equipment.
I can't think of many better uses,
Sure.
for fundraising than this. So this is really good, and and it's working.
Yeah.
Seems like you're about halfway there
Mm-hmm.
to a goal.
Yep.
But goals are only let's aspire to this, but let's go after something bigger, better.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. So for all those watching, listening, or the ones that will be watching and listening in the coming days, weeks, months, definitely look at acemusicacademy.org, and then check out the donate feature. And just sometimes even a few dollars can
Sure.
make a difference.
Yes.
So
You know,
it's
times 100
not
people
about,
still
yeah. So it
Yep.
really, sometimes it's the little steps.
Yeah.
We tend to not, snub our noses at the little bits and pieces that come through,
Yeah.
just
Mhm.
because it does add up at the end. So
Mhm.
that's terrific. I will, we'll create some links for this, and then we can kind of, keep putting it out there and put it wide. Yeah, create some links and send it through, and feel free to use the Thrive. And there's also the Thrivers group,
Mm,
which
mhm.
is something new that we're doing. Modern Day Thrivers, it's a group, not just a page. So we want people to kind of use it and network and put their jobs in, postings, and just reach out to our audience. And our audience is in need of growth as well. So
Mhm.
the more we get participation together, the more,
That's right.
I'm
Collaboration.
not worried about whether this show makes money as much as I'm more concerned about
Although we like
getting
Yeah.
building an audience and,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
giving
That too.
people access to whatever.
Right.
So
It's awesome.
this is good for us. Now, coming up in a couple of weeks, for those of you still with us, coming up in a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna pop it right up. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. Um, I made it official last week. It's still even more official. We'll be putting up some new graphics and whatnot. Modern Day Thrive, we are going live right out front of the building in the parking lot. We're going to make a spectacle of
Mhm.
Please don't
our
rain. Please don't
event.
rain.
We're going to go,
Please
yeah.
don't rain.
We're gonna go live. We'll be watching the weather.
Yeah.
We could
Mhm.
still do it back here, and I'll stick a monitor out front. But
Yeah.
we're gonna have food trucks. We're gonna have some door prizes. Some. You know, we're gonna invite everybody we know just to come out, get
Mhm.
out in public for a bit. We're gonna, we're gonna do our best to, you know, wear masks and be socially distant, but you know, and as well as the other businesses in the building here that are going to participate as well. So it's going to
Mhm.
be a big open house. We're going to be unveiling a new part of our studio for all those wannabe filmmakers out there that
Mhm.
want to try some new things. Plus, you'll be able to come out, walk through our podcasting rooms, and see if it's something that might be for you. Um, so this is it. 2 weeks, Thursday the 29th, 5 to 9. And you know what? If you, Ryan, if you wanted to come out and create part of the spectacle, then great. Come on out,
Sure. That'd be awesome.
and bring some business cards or flyers, brochures, whatever you think, and network market. You know,
Definitely.
I'm going to be reaching specifically out to a big group of filmmakers. Like, they're not, most of them aren't even production school.
Mhm.
A lot of them are just,
Learned on their own.
they decide to learn on their own, and they make
Independence.
films.
That's
They're
awesome.
independent, complete independence. And so a lot of them are going to be coming out, and
That's
you
cool.
never know. You can network, offer up your services. People will take it home and go, "Oh wow, they do this great." So
Mhm. Cool.
you're invited to kind of come and use it as a networking thing. I'm
Absolutely.
hoping to have 30, 40, 50, maybe even 100 people show up. That'd be just terrific.
Mhm.
And we're
Awesome.
going to go live from out in the parking lot. So that'll be an interesting experiment.
Won't miss it. It's gonna
Yeah.
be bright.
Might,
Yeah.
might be hot, but there'll be a breeze. I'm hoping at
Yeah.
least. So
Yeah.
it won't be like, So 2 weeks, last Thursday of the month, and we'll be doing more about it. Stay tuned for um, more information as to who is going to be participating in this event.
Mhm.
So, guys, it was a great show. Time
Thank you.
flew. It's already 8:20, so we did go a
Wow.
little over.
Yeah.
So,
It happens.
but Ryan wasn't like promoting like 15 different
I-
companies. We might have been out of here at 8 o'clock, but since
Yeah.
this is all about Ryan right now, we'll leave it at that.
It's all
So,
about the
uh,
community.
Ryan,
Yes, sir.
anytime you want to come back on the show, you want to stream in, you don't have to be here specifically.
Okay.
You can just say, "Hey, Dean, send me a link," or I'll just keep every week send you a link, and if you want to just jump in,
Just jump in.
then
yeah.
we'll get an update.
Hey,
how
as you
things
build your
going.
studio out, you could,
Oh yeah.
So
Well,
you can
hop on
Studio to
show
studio.
everyone. Yeah.
you can take pictures and share them. You could
Absolutely.
Video feed even.
Yeah.
So but yeah, you're more than welcome to come back to us,
Lovely.
and bring your guys. I met your guys here, and
Oh,
I'm
they're
sorry you
awesome.
didn't get to kind of be on the show, but maybe we can kind of do something,
Yeah, no, they're awesome. Like they have been so amazing.
Yeah.
They're like really integral to a lot of what we're doing.
Okay.
So it's like I want them to be a part of this, be a part of the growth
great.
and everything. Yeah,
Well,
so-
great. I whatever you're gonna do with the videos you're shooting, just link us through,
For sure.
and
Absolutely.
get my good side.
Get your good looking side.
Not this side, but all right, we'll figure it out from there.
All right.
Folks, thank you much for joining us. This is Modern Day Thrive. I don't know what else to say, guys, but I think we're just kind of. I think we're signing out. We're
All
going to
right.
say good night, and
Thank you very much.
and everyone out there be safe. And I'm stretching because I'm looking for the graphic that I get out of here. So good night. Take care. Goodbye.